Okay, Tableau fans, here we are. We've made all three of our pieces. We've made our dual layer map, we've made our line chart and column chart showing quarter over quarter trends or changes, and then we've made a bar chart that shows sales and profit by state. Let's take our three graphs together and turn them into our first dashboard. All right, let's do it. Now that I've got each of my three visualizations, I'm going to scroll over to the tab that says New Dashboard, and I'm going to click on it. So when making a dashboard, the first piece we see is this Dashboard tab, and our option here for size, we want to pay some attention. The general rule is to design your dashboard for the size on which it's going to be displayed. So to do that, you would use fixed size, and if you knew what your fixed size was, like for instance PowerPoint presentation or a column or a small blog, an embedded blog, web page, custom, right? If you knew what you were going to do, a desktop browser, you would choose your design on this to design for the size on which it's going to be displayed. But for our purposes, we're going to use automatic, which is problematic if you really try to use it, because if someone opens it on a different size browser, you're going to have to scroll. Anyway, it's messy, but it's going to work for us. So below our size, we've got our sheets, that regional sales trend that I just have hanging out to keep my sheet current. And then I've got my map, my trend, and my bar chart. Below, we've got different objects that we could add to our dashboard. And where I'm going to do is I'm going to start by grabbing map and dragging it on to the workspace. So once you drag your map onto the workspace, or you drag any item into the workspace, it will kind of expand to fill up the whole space. We're using tiled rather than floating here because it'll just pop into alignment. Floating's maybe there's a little more flexibility or customizability, but it's a little harder to get used to. So this is maybe kind of training wheels. Then after that, I'm going to take my trend chart and I'm going to place it below my map chart. Then I'm going to take my bar chart, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to place it to the right of my trend chart. And then, for better or worse, I'm going to get rid of all of my legends. Why? Because if I've done a good job, people will interact with the visualizations and see everything that they want. Okay, so now we've got our dashboard put together, or at least we've got the basics going on. I'd like to add some interactivity. And the interactivity that I would like to add would be that I could click on a region or a state or any given quarter, and the other charts would update. So that this would allow me to look at profit and sales by regions, city, and state at any point in time, or it would allow me to look at sales and profits for any region or any state over time. So the first thing that I want to do is to start actually with the bottom two, sales over time and sales and profit by state. I'm going to start by clicking in sales over time, and it wakes up its container. And then I'm going to go to the funnel here to uses filter, and I'm going to click on uses filter. Then I'm going to go over to sales and profit by state, click in this container, find its funnel, click on uses filter, and now it's being used as a filter. We're not going to do it with the map because it'll be fussy. But for a minute, or just to see an experiment, let's hover over our map to our most recent quarter, quarter 4 of 2024, and click. Now that I've done that, my sales and profit by state update to show sales and profit for the final quarter of 2024. And my map, both the regions and for any individual city, will show sales and profit for the fourth quarter of 2024. I can then change to the third quarter. I can change all the way back to 2021, the second quarter, and the idea is the same. We'll be able to filter based on date. To clear the filter, you just click again on the most recent value clicked. Now if I want to look at sales and profit by state, let's say I want to click on California. My map zooms in, shows only the cities in California, and now I can see a line chart and quarter over quarter changes for California. I can click in California again, and it releases the filter. I can click on Texas to filter looking only at Texas. Its whole region stays illuminated, but the cities within Texas are the only ones now that show. And we can see that there is not many areas of profitability within Texas for this company. I'll click on Texas again to release the filter. Now for the map, I want to be a little bit more specific because there's a lot going on here. I've got maps, I've got regions, there's underlying states in here, and then I've got all these cities. So rather than using this filter, which will cause confusion and delay, I'm going to go up to Dashboard, and I'm going to scroll down to Actions. There's a variety of actions that we can use, but the one that we're interested in is Filter. So when it opens up, I can show actions for this workbook, so anywhere in here, or just this sheet, and we can see that we already have two filters. I've got one where we're filtering using the trend tab, right, which is going to be sales over time, and one where we're filtering based on the bar chart, which is sales and profit by state. So I'm going to add an action. You can see I've got lots of choices, but I'm going to choose filter. So I'm going to call this filter my region filter. The source sheets are the sheets on this dashboard that I can click on or hover on, or any of these items to start the filter. And I want it to be the map. I want to click on, so I want to select a region in the map, and I want it to affect target sheets. I want it to affect trend and bar chart. And then clearing the selection, I want it to show all values, because if I do keep filtered values, I just end up never being able to back out to my whole map again. So I want to choose keep filtered values. So I've got run action on select. That means I'm going to click on a region, and if I click on that region a second time, it will show all values. We're going to scroll down to this next part, filter. We're not going to filter all fields like state or city. We're only going to filter on selected fields. And the field we're going to select on is our region variable. And then I will say, okay. So my region will run on select and it'll filter on region, so I'll say okay. Now if I come back up and I click on my Western region, sales and profit by state, now I only see Western states. And my sales over time and my percent difference in sales updates, so then it's only showing my Western states. I can click on it again to release the filter. If I want to see the East, I can click on the East and I can see my states are only going to be my Eastern states, and the sales over time and the quarter over quarter changes now are for the Eastern states also. So that's a few ways of adding filters or interactivity to a dashboard. The very last thing I want to do is a tiny bit of formatting. I want to adjust the titles of each individual visualization so that they're small. I'm going to choose a font size of 12. To do that, I'm just clicking on the titles and changing them. And now I want to give my entire sheet, but I have to say okay. And then I want to give the whole dashboard a title. So to do that, I'm going to select a text object. I'm going to click on it and drag it to where I want it. It'll be big at first and we're not going to worry, but we're going to call this dashboard Sales and Profit by I don't know, geography, by region, cities, and state. It's kind of a lot to say. What does this dashboard allow us to do? I want to give it a good title. Let's call it Patterns in Sales and Profit 2021 to 2024. Since this is the title for the whole enchilada, I'm going to make it 18 in terms of font, and I'm going to make it black instead of gray. I could even change the font if I wanted to Tableau medium or anything I wanted. And then below this, I'm going to give an instruction for what I want people to do. Click on the visualizations to filter. So that's going to be italicized, it's going to be gray, and it's going to be small. 12-point font. And I'll say OK. It's quite small now, so I'm going to drag it to make it smaller. Maybe I'll give a little more real estate to my map. And there, now we've got it. Click on the visualizations to filter. Maybe if you can come up with a better phrase than that, I will definitely appreciate it. All right, and I'm just going to make sure that my tooltips look good. They're okay. Sales over profit. Perfect. Okay. All right. Nicely done. First dashboard. Now you're ready to go. I will see you guys soon. Happy visualizing.